What's up, dudes? Everybody hear me okay? Mic check. What's going on, everybody? Been a long time. Back for another mukbang. Another classical mukbang, I should say. Hope everybody's having a good week and staying healthy and strong. Today I got 100% grass-fed, fresh, never frozen ribeye. And then I got some 100% grass-fed, non-vaccinated beef marrow. And raw unsalted butter. What's up, guys? Andy, how's it going? Thanks for showing up, dude. Society salvaged. Good to see you as well, man. Dude, I haven't had fresh grass-fed in a long time. Shelby, what's going on? Good to see ya. Back in my original commander's seat. The YouTube Live Raw Carnivore streaming headquarters. What's up, guys? Dude, I've been mad neglectful. I really apologize to all you guys for not being here as much as I should be. I've been putting a lot of work into Instagram. So Instagram's growing pretty well, and I'm reaching a lot of people on Instagram, but I don't want to neglect this channel either, so I'm going to try to do a stream at least once a week for you guys. Because I noticed that I'm starting to pick up subscribers and followers, even though I'm not even like posting shit. Sorry, T-Molar, I know your kids are watching. I gotta watch my mouth. I'm not posting anything, but my channel's still growing, so I can't neglect this project over here, so I'm gonna devote a little more time to it. And at least just do streams for you guys. And put together some... I got some things in the works for you guys that you guys are really gonna like. Some epic videos, some interviews, things like that. So I'm cooking up some different stuff. I got some ideas that I just need to execute here in the next probably a couple months. What's up, Lappy Top? Man, this fresh grass-fed is something else. It's got like a totally different texture than frozen. It's just like pure fleshy. No compromisation from the freezing. T. Miller says, hello Wes, nice to see you online. Can you send a shout out to the boys Luca and Thomas? They're eating raw chicken and raw cheese here watching you. Luca and Thomas, what's up, buddies? Hope you guys are enjoying your chicken and cheese. Some healthy stuff, man. Good to see you guys. Kevin Donnelly says, hey, have you ever tried clabber? It's made from raw milk, a form of fermentation, and it was common practice in my country in Ireland. I think I've clabbered milk once or twice. Isn't that basically like kefir? I mean, what's the difference between clabbered and kefir milk? Maybe someone can explain that to me, but I think it's essentially like the same thing, right? I drink kefir all the time, but I've been doing kefir grains with my kefir. So I don't do like honey kefir or anything like that. I actually use the grains. Stan says, how long have you been eating no salt? To be honest, man, like, I still get a little bit of salt every once in a while. I don't add salt to my food anymore. I really haven't, besides experimenting a couple times over the last few years. But I don't add salt to my food. I haven't done that in like 4 years on a regular basis. Every once in a while, I'll go get some like olives from the store, man. I crave olives quite a bit, but I don't know if I'm craving the salt or not. So I get a little bit of salt every once in a while when I eat olives. I wish they made olives with like no salt. I get the low sodium ones. So I do that every once in a while. So it's not like I'm getting no salt, because I kind of break down every once in a while and I'll eat some like olives. And every once in a while I'll order the Amos Miller potato chips, natural potato chips, which are just like potatoes, pig lard, and sea salt. So I get a little bit of salt with those potato chips from Amos Miller. So, but other than that, I don't use salt, man. Give that to my dog. I was like chewing on a bone. Brian says, I appreciate your face art on Instagram, brain hair and eyebrows. Yeah, I did that one time before, but I figured I would do it on a reel. It's pretty funny. Joseph says, what was your diet like growing up? Could have been worse. It wasn't like kids nowadays, that's for sure, man. We didn't have a whole lot of junk food. That was one blessing that I had growing up, was we basically never had junk food in the house. We never had pop. We never had like chips, potato chips, like candy, anything like that ever. Basically all from when I was a toddler all the way through high school. We like never had junk food. But it was like your standard American diet other than that, you know? So it was basically just meat, potatoes, vegetables. Lunches were kind of weak, like canned soups, Campbell's soup and stuff like that. Like breakfast and lunch were super weak, and then dinner was like the strong meal. But breakfast was like cereal. Ate cereal every day of my life, man. Ate pasteurized milk every day of my life. So it could have been a lot worse, man. Because I know kids nowadays are just getting completely screwed. Bizkit Camp, will raw meat cure acne? Basically, raw meat won't by itself, but just cutting down on any kind of toxins, just completely cleaning up your lifestyle. Because acne is basically like toxins coming out your skin. So clean up your lifestyle, stop eating junk food, using drugs and alcohol, things like that, and your skin will clear up. But raw meat will help repair it more rapidly for sure. A lot of people say that raw meat eaters have the best skin, and I've noticed a lot of raw meat eaters have really good skin too. I had really pretty bad acne growing up. I still got like scars all over my face from it. But nowadays, like I haven't had like an actual like zit in like years and years, man, like 5 years. But not even really like a pimple. Every once in a while I'll get like a little like bump or something, but it's usually after I eat like a cooked steak. Kevin Donnelly says, when the English invaded Ireland, they observed the Irish eating lots of it. The sourer the better. So to stifle rebellion, the English killed all the cows belonging to the clans. Amazing, dude. People are evil, aren't they? Yeah, I really like super soured kefir, man. I drink it actually every morning for breakfast. I got so blessed today, man. I got my beef quarter from my rancher, all fresh, delivered fresh to my house. He had to pull a bunch of strings to get it fresh for me, but he's a trooper, man. He fought for me and he got it. So I got like 85 pounds of fresh grass-fed beef delivered today. Froze half of it. Eat fresh for a month, you know. T. Moeller, thanks Wes. They are happy to hear their names. Happy to know about the more frequent streams. Yeah, for sure. I'm just going to set a reminder and I'm going to start doing it. I like YouTube, man. It's a cool setup. I really like how the comments are on the screen. So it helps when people are watching it back, you know. Was Hitler a bad guy? You know what, man? I don't know. I never met him. And I really don't trust anything the history books say, so. I wasn't there, dude. I wasn't there. But I will say, anytime you're killing people, you're not defending yourself, but you're going out and actively killing people in order to obtain some sort of cause or purpose, you've definitely failed. Killing people is definitely not the point. There's more strategic ways to go about getting your causes out in the world, you know? That's the whole balance of life, is trying to figure out how to get what you want without killing everybody else and just forcing it on the world, you know? Got to be a little more crafty than that. Not saying you did anything like that, because I don't trust history, but and don't construe that into like I'm an anti-Holocaust or pro-Holocaust guy or anything like that. I'm just anti-news and anti-history in general, you know? I think they're all just... The winners write the history books, is what they say, right? Sahib Muhammad, do vegetable juices get you out of ketosis? If so, what can I drink instead of bottled water? Who cares if you're in ketosis or out of ketosis, really? What's wrong with that? You can fluctuate and go in and out every once in a while. Mountain Valley spring water is good water. And fruit is also very hydrating. And so are raw eggs. There's a lot of different ways to hydrate yourself. Raw milk is also really good too. Brutal says, how long can you keep meat unfrozen before it goes bad? Good question, man. I think a month is pushing it. I've gone like a month before and it starts getting kind of funky. I would say 3 weeks is probably when you want to start either throwing it in the freezer or eating it. It can go a couple weeks, no problem though. Like if it's vacuum sealed. MM says, I followed autogenous style diet for a while and did not agree with me. Ray Peat approach works great for me. And Ray Peat says, white sugar helps stress. I don't know. I use raw honey and maple syrup a lot. Yeah, Ray Peat doesn't really make sense to me. I know a lot of people follow that guy. But autogenous stuff like makes way more sense to me. It's just so simple. Like you guys see what I eat. I just eat beef and butter. Maybe it doesn't work for everybody. Maybe it's just for me and thousands of other people, but I like autogenous' approach because it's so incredibly simple and like fundamental. Ray Peat in his work like gets really confusing. Like I don't hate, but I just find it annoying when nutrition and health people start getting like way too into the weeds on stuff, you know? Like their protocols are too complicated and they're starting to talk about molecules and all this crap. It's like, dude, just eat raw meat and raw dairy. But you gotta do what works for you, you know? Brian says, where do you get the brains? There's sheep and goat brains and I get them from a live meat market. Titi Kubo, where do you buy your raw milk? Local raw dairy. It's called Bryant Dairy in Bennington. Sean Lake, hello amigo. What's up, buddy? Travis Price, what is your opinion on urine therapy? I think it's probably legit, like especially if you're in a survival situation, or maybe perhaps you're trying to do some kind of long fast, or maybe you're just sick and you want to recycle nutrients. It sounds legit. I mean, there's too many people that claim it works, and it actually seems logical that it would work that way. You're just recycling your nutrients. I would never do it unless I was in like a some kind of survival situation or something. But it's really good. It's a really good strategy if you're ever like stranded without food. Hope things are well. Yeah, things are great, man. Life has never been better, dude. Have I looked into the Jewish question? What question would that be, dude? Nocturnal browsing says it's wild that questioning the Holocaust gets you prison time in Europe. That is weird. That's very strange. Very, very strange, dude. Trust me, I'm skeptical of everything. What blood type am I? I'm O positive. Sahib Muhammad, I've heard somewhere that the best way to store meat is in vacuum sealed bags and in a refrigerator just above freezing point. Yeah, that's very true. That's the best way that I found. When you put it in glass, it doesn't store like in plastic. What's my calorie intake average per day? Damn, I just calculated it the other day and I totally forgot. 3,000? Something like that. Do I enjoy Brain? Yeah, Brain is amazing, dude. Brain is truly a delicacy. What does it taste like? It tastes like soft-boiled egg yolks. Or like runny scrambled eggs. It's like a very similar consistency and flavor to that. What's up, Nero? Joseph says, I follow a Weston egg price kind of diet. Some raw and some cooked. Honestly, feel great. Yeah, you can be super healthy on cooked food, dude. I know, like, NFL athletes. My buddy's little brother plays for the Denver Broncos. He actually just got traded, but I know NFL athletes, they're eating cooked food and they're gladiators. So you don't need to eat raw meat to be healthy, but it will get you healthier, that's for sure. We should do these streams more often. I will, man. I will. I'm gonna try to do them at least once a week. What's your favorite sauce, if any, for raw meat? I don't use any sauces, dude. Never been a sauce guy. Saucy type of guy. Thoughts on fasting? I think fasting is cool, man. It'll definitely help you lose weight, that's for sure. I've had some amazing experiences fasting. I've talked about it a bunch on my streams, but I've had some amazing experiences, like going 5 days, 7 days, 10 days of fasting on water. It's like I never felt better in my life than when I'm fasting. My brain operates on a totally different level when I'm fasting. Like I'm just so much more alert and I can access words much easier, and it's very interesting. What's up, Jeremy? The raw meat increases healing, in my opinion. For sure. Yeah, there's a lot of different uses for raw meat, man. It's not just about like being healthy. That's like such a broad term, you know? It's good for healing, repairing, detoxification. Everybody's got a different level of toxicity going on. Some people get their bodies to a point to where it's almost beyond repair. It's almost beyond the limit. And so they have to eat raw meat in order to just move on, because they can't eat anything. They can't digest anything. BizKit Comp says, Augenus said not to fast. Should I ignore him and just fast to drop some pounds? You know, just because Augenus said something never stopped me from trying it. You know what I mean? It's like your parents. When your parents told you not to do something, did you always not do it? You know what I mean? It's like, Augenus isn't our daddy. We can experiment and do what we want. And it's best to try for yourself and see what works for you, rather than just put all your eggs in one basket and trust what one dude's telling you. What if he's wrong? You know? How do you know he's right? How do you know he's not wrong? The only way you'll know is if you experiment for yourself and try for yourself. And that's what I did. But it was really helpful when I was transitioning over, basically my first year on Raw Primal, when my body was adapting over to this diet. It was pretty useful, man. My body just wanted it. It needed like a break, like a break from digestion. So it was really good experiences for me overall. Is there times you get sick of raw meat? Not really. Sometimes I crave a nice, juicy, seasoned, rare, like a ribeye or something. So I'll just go to a steakhouse and eat a cooked steak. But the digestion that I get off of that and the energy I get off of cooked food is just so garbage that compared to raw, not that it's bad, I digest cooked food fine, but compared to raw, it's just trash. So I always go back to raw. I always crave raw. Like, cooked food completely throws my energy off. It's very interesting. But I still like really enjoy the flavors and stuff in there. But the energy and the mood it does for me during the day is just trash. Mike Moss says, frozen versus fresh meat preferences. Oh, fresh for sure. I had to pull a lot of strings to get this meat fresh, man. This is like one of the first times I've had fresh grass-fed beef in a long time. Maybe like a year. It's been a long time, man. We're trying to work it out to where I can get it on a more regular basis. Luckily, my rancher is a fan of my channel. We're not really my channel as much as he's a fan of what I'm doing with the raw meat and stuff. He finds it like very interesting. Comes from like a long line of like butchers and farmers. Like his dad was a butcher, and his dad's dad was a butcher, his dad's brother was a butcher, and he was a butcher, and it's just like crazy. So he said when he was younger, he would sneak little pieces of raw beef and stuff like that. Joseph says, you sleep okay when you fast. If I don't eat enough, I get worse sleep. Yeah, when you're like fully adapted to fasting, like you sleep unbelievable. Maybe a little bit less. I think you sleep a little bit less if I remember, but you sleep like a rock, totally. But I think eventually it gets to a point to where that stops and then you start sleeping not as well. That's interesting. I think kind of both things can happen when you're fasting. But for the most part, I do know when you're like 3 days fasted, you sleep really well, man. Do I ever eat fish? Yeah, I eat swordfish every once in a while. Thoughts on fish-only diets? I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I'm not sure, man. Like, I've been reading a lot of stuff about how omega-3s are actually not good for you. So now I'm a little bit confused on that. So I just try to limit my fish to like once or twice a month. Beef seems to be like my food, man. I'm just drawn to beef for some reason, so I just trust that. But I think Augenus said that he met some tribes that ate like only fish and coconuts and they were super healthy. So I don't really know what to make about the omega-3 thing. Some people say it's good, some people say it's bad. I would say just balance everything out. Don't go extreme. I eat a little bit, lots of beef, a little bit of chicken, a little bit of fish. I need to eat more chicken though, probably, because I think iron overload is definitely an issue. Tyler says, been eating 90% raw for 8 months and feel great. I put on over 30 pounds. Awesome, man. Jeremy says, you can feel the cooked food drag you down during digestion. Yeah, for sure. It just brings your vibrations down, man. Sohib Mohammed says, isn't it weird how cultures that have bad food culture are known for their spices, like India and Mexico? It's like the less nutrient dense your diet is, the more spices you discover taste. Yeah. That's a little interesting. My poop is great, dude. And I go like once every other day. Is fat good if all toxins are said to be stored in fat? Yeah, basically we need fat for that. At this point in our society, we need fat to store toxins. So eating raw fat is like essential. Zoe says, I know someone who had his stomach removed because of cancer. He can't digest most food, but he said sushi, rare steaks, and lightly cooked chicken digest best. That makes sense. It's very interesting. Darius says, I didn't find any benefits of raw meat overcooked. Interesting, dude. Nocturnal browsing says, I don't even eat raw, but cutting out salt did wonders for my skin, mood, digestion, and dreams. I bet. Yeah, salt is a pretty crazy thing, man. The problem with salt is that it comes in like such large quantities in our foods, you know, in our seasonings and just processed foods. There's just insane amounts of salt. That's the problem. Rock lobster. I'm getting diarrhea from drinking egg yolks and oranges. Do you know why? I don't, dude. I'm not sure about that. Roots says Augenus also said the Inuit consumed a bunch of whale blubber with fish, so maybe the additional fat is the key to thrive. Whale blubber sounds freaking good, man. P. Miller says, I remember your YouTube streams over 2 years ago. Good memories. I was still a raw meat noob back then. You're still a noob, dude. Mike Moss says you should make a video with Anthony Chaff. I'm not even sure who that is, dude. Is he the vegan guy that eats like plates full of noodles and shit? Like a table full of noodles? The ex-vegan? Lapid Top says, I live in Norway and I have access to Moller's Tran cod liver oil. I'm not sure if it's good. They heat it to extract the oil. I don't know about cod liver oil, man. I don't think I'm going to use that stuff again. I don't think it's a good idea. Don't supplement. Just eat fish, dude. Dylan King, how much butter fat do you eat in a day? I eat about 2.5 ounces of fat per 12 ounces of meat. So I eat about 24 ounces of meat, which is about 1.5 pounds of meat a day. And I eat about 5 ounces of fat with it. So it's about 5 ounces to 24 ounces fat to meat ratio. I should probably be eating a little bit more though. More like 8 ounces. Sometimes I go 8 ounces too. 8 ounces a day. So Heaps says that's why Salisbury steak was used as a treatment, almost 100% digestible. Yeah, the Salisbury steak guy is interesting. I got a book I got to read about him. That guy's interesting, dude. Dr. Salisbury. I think he was the first guy to do like a carnivore diet. Do I train much? I do push-ups lately. I don't really need to train, dude. I stay strong. Ride my bike. I'll take my bike out for like 20 miles every once in a while. If it's a nice day and it's not windy. Roger Rogerson says cod liver oil is processed with kerosene since 1975. A lot of it is, man. Supposedly if you get like Rosita, it's not, but most of them are. Some good bone marrow right here. Nice and soft. Roots says supplement anything makes 0 sense naturally. Agreed. Chalky Milk Mirage says looks younger and younger every time I see him. WTF. It's all in the lighting, dude. Everybody said I looked old and wrinkly on my Instagram stream. And I was like, they're like, dude, I think that meat's aging you, bro. I was like, it's the lighting, trust me, dude. I was like, look at my YouTube streams. I look totally different on my YouTube streams. P. Miller says, is this the new never vax, never frozen meat? Yes, sir. Eating fresh, never frozen for the next month. Kiwi Kim says, thanks for streaming on YouTube. It's so much more relaxing than Instagram. Yeah, I can like play music and stuff. Of course, I could do this on Instagram, but it's a little easier with my desktop setup. And I like the comments on the screen right there. Viewer count. It's a cool setup. And yeah, it's more of a relaxing vibe. I got a nice chair. Oh, I know, dude. You guys are probably hungry, huh? My dogs are gonna be annoying here in the next couple minutes. What do you want, dude? Huh? My dog has got a chipped front tooth. Like her front fangs right here on the bottom. One of them's like chipped like almost in half. I think she busted it on a goat head. So be careful about that. Biscuit says, Strong Medicine by Blake Donaldson also recommended carnivore diet before Salisbury. Very interesting, dude. I know there's like tribes that did it too. Nothing like that wet, soft bone marrow, dude. Dylan says, Have you had any strong detox symptoms since eating this way? The first year I did, I had like a couple really bad flus. Like really bad. And I had like a super bad detox when I got my root canal removed. This tooth up here, got it yanked out. And all the toxicity drained out. I got sick for like 10 days. But yeah, I got a couple pretty bad flus my first year. And then I went like almost 2.5 years without being sick at all. And then I got another flu. About 2 months ago, I had got a really bad flu, man. For like a week, I was completely taken out. I don't think it was COVID, but... Nero says, on the other hand, I've started eating more frozen, can't tell much of a difference. Yeah, it's really subtle, dude. You gotta really, like, pay attention. But it's there. Like, I feel really good off of this fresh meat. It's a little bit of a more heightened state, heightened euphoria. But it's very subtle and almost hard to detect. P. Miller says, are you going to be trying that new celebrity meat? Dude, yeah, that sounds super nasty. Super nasty and gnarly. I doubt it, dude. That's gross, man. Soheeb Muhammad, I see the piano behind you. Do you know how to play it? I am very amateur. Very amateur at the piano. I know some basic chords. I can dance around a little bit on there. I used to produce a little bit of music. I got a bunch of music tracks uploaded on YouTube if you guys ever want to check it out. But yeah, I produced a bunch of music by myself, and I used my keyboards to do that. Kiwi Kim sent $1.99. Thank you so much. That is very generous of you. Appreciate it. T. Mueller says, do you have an implant tooth there where you remove the root canal? I do not. No, luckily I knew about all that stuff. Implants are just as bad as root canals, apparently, according to the Price Pottinger Foundation YouTube channel. I got a bridge put in. So they had to shape this tooth down. This tooth is totally fake right here. And then they had to shave this tooth down. And then they anchored the bridge on these teeth. They did a pretty good job. It's not perfectly straight, but they did a pretty good job. It's all porcelain ceramic. So no metal or anything. Let's see. Kiwi Kim says, well, I was trying to send more. Wow. Very nice of you. Can't read your name. It looks like Latin or something. I caught a pigeon at the park, feathered and ate it. Hope no one saw. Do you figure city pigeons are healthier than store-bought meat since they get no medicine? Maybe. It depends. I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, is the city spraying the grass and the trees and everything with chemicals and stuff, and then the pigeons are eating that stuff? You know, are they spraying Roundup all over the soil and then the pigeons are eating worms out of the soil with Roundup on it? Like, I don't know. It just depends on all those different things. But it's very possible they are, because they're not getting any like forced medications or anything. The Enlightened Max says, yo bro, watch Dr. Sam Bailey from Odyssey because she says Ovid and viruses are faked to make money from worthless, harmful medicines. Pharmaceuticals are a scam to cause illness to many customers. Yeah, I know. I know this, dude. I've known this for like 5 years. It's all a bunch of horse shit, dude. All a bunch of nonsense, sir. Once you see it, it becomes just laughable. Raw Meeks, what's up, buddy? Dude, Raw Meeks, were you on here before you got on Instagram? I can't remember. Were you like a follower of this channel back in the day or what? Desmomoto. What percentage of your food are carbs? When do you eat your carbs? I eat my carbs at night. I eat like an orange for lunch, so that's a little bit of carbs. And then I'll do like milk at night, which is a little more carbs. But that's pretty much it. Sometimes I'll do like a baked potato with dinner, but that's like very rare. So it's a very small percentage. I eat like, most days I eat less than like 25 grams of carbs, but I'll go up to like 50 sometimes. If I'm doing like, if I make like the nut formula or something. But I always do it at night. I love doing carbs at night, like right before I go to bed. Which may not be the best time to do it, but that's when I crave them, so that's when I eat them. Mike Moss, thoughts on fresh farm-raised salmon? I don't know about farm-raised, dude. I wouldn't go for it because I think I looked into their feed one time, and the feed is just horrendous. It's like a list of 1,000 ingredients, and it's all like chemicals and preservatives and all a bunch of weird shit. Gluten and all sorts of stuff, man. I wouldn't go for it. Tuan and Bui just found out tapeworms doesn't come from pork. Where do you think they're from? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm a little bit torn on worms. My dog has actually had tapeworms for like 6 months, and I thought I would just let it run its course, you know. But it hasn't gone away yet. It's been like 6 months, so I just ordered some tapeworm medication. I'm gonna give it to my dog actually today. But I tried to be a gangster, dude, and just let my dog's tapeworms run their course according to Augenis style. But I don't know, man. It's been like 6 months. I'm just gonna flush them out. I don't know where they come from, dude. They just happened to come from, or they just happened to show up in my dog right after she ate like a wild raw groundhog. So it's easy to think it's from that. But my dogs also happened to get fleas like really bad last year, man. It was a complete freaking nightmare. Like if you've ever had fleas in your house from dogs, it's an absolute disaster. I've never experienced anything worse in my life, man. Because they never come off the dogs completely. I didn't want to use any harsh chemicals on them, so I was using like natural flea soap shampoo. I had to shampoo them every single day, both of my dogs every single day for like over a month, for like 30 days, maybe 2 months. Can't remember, it took forever. But there was fleas all over my freaking house, dude. In my basement, in my upstairs, in my living room. They were in my rugs. I took my rugs out to my garage, and then I had fleas all over my garage. It was freaking insane, dude. But I finally got rid of them. It was unbelievable. Anyways, long story to get to the point of tapeworms. They say fleas can give dogs tapeworms too, because they carry the eggs or whatever. So my one dog just happened to get tapeworms after she ate a raw groundhog, which may have given her the fleas or the tapeworms. I don't know how it works, but she got the tapeworms after that. Anyways, she's had them for a long time. Her health is fine. But I'm just going to flush them out today. Kiwi Kim says, it tried to make me give $199. That would be an epic super chat, for sure. I would give you like a personal 4-hour consultation for that. But if you accidentally did that, I would totally give your money back, for real. Soheeb says, butter versus skeletal fat, is there a difference? Butter is like slightly more easier to digest.
What's up, buddy? I know. I'll be done in a little bit, okay? And then we'll get you some food and some tapeworm medicine. You want some tapeworm medicine, buddy?
Yeah, butter's just slightly easier to digest. That's the only difference that I know of. it's essentially the same thing if it's coming from a healthy animal. Jeff, what's up, buddy? How's the sleep zone? Oh, it's fantastic, dude. I love it every single night. I fall asleep in 10 minutes. I sleep for 8 hours. I dream like a baby. It's awesome. Nero says, I can't believe we're talking about Ovid. It's been freaking ages ago it started. I know, it's so stupid, dude. Dude, they'll talk about it forever. It's not going away, you know that, right? They're going to talk about it forever. Look at how they still talk about the Spanish flu. They still talk about tuberculosis. They still talk about swine flu and SARS, and like, dude, it's never going away. Raw Meek says, do you think there's anything that muscle meat had that organs do not? For example, do you think muscle meat had a slight advantage in growing your muscles? Yeah, I mean, just in a very simple like Chinese medicine sort of perspective, yeah, it makes sense that like muscle meat would make your muscles grow because it's like what your muscles are made of, right? That's really the most simple explanation I can give for that. Maybe there's some like connective tissues and things like that inside the muscle meat that the organs don't have, which it does seem that way. Muscle meat is like a little harder to rip apart usually. So it's got some like connective tissues and things like that, and like just some building blocks for your muscles that organs don't contain. P. Miller says, any updates to your sleep setup? I recently started sleeping with an EMF blocking beanie on my head. My dreams have been more vivid. Right on, dude. No, my sleep setup has not changed. It's the same, dude. I mean, it takes care of everything. I'm on a grounding sheet. I'm completely blocked from all EMF. It's just wonderful, man. I sleep amazing, dude. T. Mueller, very interesting. My mom apparently needs a root canal, but as far as I know, it's best to remove the tooth, right? A bridge is a great idea. Is it removable? Yes. Well, no, it's not removable. This is a permanent. It's cemented in. Yeah, it's best to remove the tooth if it's like far beyond repair, you know. If it's like you have incredible pain going on, you have some kind of wild infection or abscess. But if the doctor just tells you, you know, you need to remove this tooth, like, I don't know if I would trust that right away. I would maybe try to heal it by like changing my diet first. But definitely pay attention to the x-rays and things like that, and like look at potential infection points up in the roots and things like that. If it's getting to the point to where you're getting like infection marks that show up on the x-rays and stuff, then I would just yank it for sure. What about honey for carbs? Go for it, man. Yeah, honey's great. I do a little milk and honey at night, yeah. Raw Meeks, I found out about you only like 5 months ago, brother. Crazy. Wow, yeah, dude. I've been on here forever, dude. In August, it would be 4 years since I started YouTube. That's pretty insane. Darius says, any thoughts on fructose consumption, fruit, honey, and the links with non-alcoholic fatty liver? I don't know about those links, man. It doesn't really make sense. I've done a little bit of research on fatty liver, and honestly, I cannot remember what I even learned from it, because I've never had to really necessarily deal with that myself. I know a lot about stuff that I had to deal with myself. Like, I know a lot about like seizures and root canals and dental problems, and like I know a lot of specific stuff about that because I had to deal with that shit. But I don't know much about non-alcoholic fatty liver. It doesn't make sense that fruit and honey would be the culprit. I think they're probably missing something in those studies. Nocturnal Browsing says, nothing whets the appetite like hearing tapeworm medicine. I know, I figured she would like that. The Enlightened Max says, COVID tests have dangerous cancer chemicals and have black nanoworms on the swabs and on them COVID masks too that wiggle around like they're alive. Watch the bitch shoot. Dude, I've seen it, trust me. I've seen all that good stuff. Yup. It's pretty wild. That's why I don't wear masks. Jeff B. AV said only athletes should eat organs. Yeah, for sure. I consider myself an athlete. Pretty athletic dude, and I come from a family of athletes. Soheeb Mohammed says, is it worth the hassle to search for natural soups and shampoos? Natural soups? I think you mean soaps. No, just don't use them at all. Just use water and a washcloth, dude. That's all you need. Get a little bit of natural dish soap for like when you get like motor oil or like mud on your hands or something if you're working outside. But other than that, like you don't need soap and shampoo, dude. I haven't used it in like 4 years. Raw Meeks, when was the last time you got a cold? Do you reckon it's just the purging off of accumulated toxins? I actually had the flu, dude, about 2 months ago. I had to take a week off of work. I got completely obliterated by the flu. It completely came out of nowhere. It's pretty wild. But I don't get colds. I don't get colds anymore. I've only gotten flus in the last 4 years, just like super bad flus. But I had one, like I was saying earlier, I had like 1 or 2 really bad flus the first year I got on this diet, which was, it makes sense that I was purging off toxins. And then I didn't have the flu for another like 2.5 years. And then I just got another one like 2 months ago. So I'm getting them less frequently for sure. I remember before I got on this diet, and I was just like putting all sorts of toxic shit in my body left and right. I remember feeling like I got sick like every other weekend. I had like a cold or something. I got sick like all the time, man. Tuan Anbui says, some raw meat YouTubers claim raw salmonella was always in our body and only come out to flush the toxins. Just what AV said. What do you think? It makes the most sense. I don't know because I'm not God and I don't have a microscope and a complete record of history to be able to tell you exactly what all the bacteria are doing. But it makes the most sense that it's a symbiotic part of our system, just like how the rest of the world works. The whole world works in symbiosis. It doesn't make sense that a creator would create like viruses and salmonella and stuff to come down and try to kill everybody. Doesn't make any sense. It makes sense that there's some sort of purpose for it. So you just got to kind of sort of think philosophically about it and get a little bit abstract and start to think about like this whole system was created by something, right? Look at how other things work, look how nature works, and that's how your inside of your body works as well. As above, so below, as they say, right? What works in nature is also what works inside of our body. It's the same thing. So everything is in a balance, in a symbiosis, and really the only way that we get sick is when we throw things out of balance or out of symbiosis, or when we start to alter the natural balances of things. Like when you have a natural balance of bacteria on a piece of meat and then you cook it, now you're altering that natural balance of meat, and then you ingest it and you could potentially get like a food poisoning symptom because the bacteria balance is off and it's mutated. And you know, if you do like a dental procedure incorrectly, like a tooth extraction, you can leave like a cavitation up in your skull, and then what can happen is you can get bacteria in that cavitation, and then it heals up and now you have bacteria in that cavitation deprived of oxygen, and then it turns anaerobic and it releases toxic gases into your system. So now you have this like anaerobic bacteria in your skull from a dental procedure because we altered the system, you know, like we did some sort of procedure on the mouth. We broke apart God's creation and introduced bacteria into some place where it's not supposed to be. That's like the only time bad stuff happens is when humans intervene. And it's very interesting that a lot of people want to blame like nature or God for like a lot of diseases and things, but it's like they're protecting themselves from realizing that like we're the ones that create disease and we're the ones that create all this like suffering. It all comes from something we're doing. Kendall says, do you have any info on periodontitis? Is that like gum disease? I guess I would have to ask you what your question is about it. Do you know what causes inflammation around the wisdom tooth? It's called periocoronitis. I've had it on both sides. A lot of times it's because I actually have it on one of my wisdom teeth right now, and I just went to the dentist for it. A lot of times it's because you're not brushing well enough back there, you're not cleaning enough back there, because it's so far back there. So now I just pay more attention with my brush, and I go back there and I really get that tooth around the gums very well. But that's most likely what it is, unless it's like partially erupted, like not a fully erupted tooth. But sometimes that can create inflammation too, you know. Zoe says, what can I do to help with migraines and headaches? That could be caused by EMF. I mean, are you on the diet? I would ask you, like, are you on this diet? Because, like, a lot of that can be caused by food. Like pasteurized milk and gluten can cause stuff like that too. Joseph says, I started praying before my meals and I swear it helps my digestion like crazy. Feel more relaxed and grateful. Dude, yeah, I pray before every single one of my meals now. I pray before my dog's meals. I pray on my dog's food. Like, I think it's very important to bless your food. Bless it with positive energy. Soheeb Mohammed, from your experience, how long does it take to see results after switching to raw meats? I noticed it the first couple times I ate it, man. It's very slow and subtle. It depends on what you're dealing with. If you decided to start eating raw meat because you have some sort of like severe digestion issue, some people can notice it right away. They're like, wow, I can't digest anything, but I can digest raw meat. This is amazing. I never had digestive problems, but I had like mood issues and like energy problems and fatigue and stuff like that. Brain fog. And I noticed like immediately like all that stuff was going away, but it started slowly going away as I progressed into the diet. But what's interesting is as I progressed into the diet, I was also able to quit like coffee, and I was able to quit cannabis, like a daily cannabis habit. So all that stuff helped too. And then I got into like EMF. Now I'm sleeping in a Faraday cage. It's just the more you go down these rabbit holes, you realize that like it's not just about eating raw meat, dude. Like raw meat's not going to save your life. Like raw meat's not your god. Audience is not your god. But it's a very good stepping stone or like jump off point into like natural living and like getting away from all toxins and chemicals and things in your life, and starting to getting away from just everything that could be interrupting your natural homeostasis, you know. So it's very long and progressive, but I noticed like I feel like I'm still getting better, to be honest with you. Like I feel like my mental clarity and my brain fog and things like that could still be improving. I could always be sharper, you know what I mean? My energy is pretty damn good though. But I noticed like 3 years into this diet, like it was still improving. It's pretty amazing. Any advice for healing body acne? I've been doing the detoxing, it's just getting worse. Yeah, I mean, your body tries to kick most of its toxins out through the skin, so that's what's going on. So you can try to do like the hot baths to try to pull those toxins out a little quicker from your skin, you know. Try to cut down on like chemicals like soaps and stuff like that on your skin, because that's just gonna agitate your skin even more. Oh, here we go. We got some naked HD XYZ. Hey, I'm waiting on you. All right, guys. I'll be right back. I'm going to click on this link and see what's going on here. I'll be back in just a sec. Okay. Damn, it won't work. Iron overload from carnivore is an issue, right? I wonder how people did it before blood banks. Well, they did bloodletting, dude. Look up bloodletting. But they probably also didn't eat just beef all the time. I really do get concerned about that, and I'm going to start doing a lot more chicken. Kiwi Kim, I've been on this diet since January 1st. I'm known for my ability to focus on my work, but now my concentration and organizing ability is amazing. I believe it, totally. Yeah. Yeah, mine went up big time too, for sure. With absolutely like no drugs involved either. Like just completely sober, I can just concentrate for hours. Nero says, "Are you on NoFap?" I go on streaks for sure. Let's put it that way. I do definite streaks. Charlie Davis, what is your raw lemonade recipe that you mentioned before? Ingredients and quantities. It is lemon juice, raw honey, and spring water. 1 part lemon juice, 1 part honey, 7 to 10 parts spring water, depending on how strong you want it. So you can go 1 to 1 to 7 or 1 to 1 to 10. So I'll repeat that. 1 part honey, 1 part lemon, 7 parts spring water. So that means equal parts honey and lemon by weight, right? So if you got 10 grams of honey, put 10 grams of lemon juice. And then if you got 10 grams of honey, 10 grams of lemon juice, then put 70 grams of water. If you got 100 grams of honey, 100 grams of lemon juice, then put 700 grams of water. That's how you do it. It's pretty easy, man. Salt is a big cause of headaches. Good point. P. Miller says, I've heard praying before a meal activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which creates a more relaxed state for better digestion assimilation. That makes sense, dude. Dude, I can't ban this. I can't ban this porno person, dude. P. Miller, can you ban that wanker? I gotta sign in, that's right. I gotta sign in. Yeah, I can't do it. Me Tan says, speaking of which, quitting porn is essential for mental health. Absolutely, dude. I agree with you 100%. Sohaib Mohammed says, ever since I switched to raw meat 3 months ago and I'm functioning on 30% energy, I tried to up my fat intake, but no improvements, no focus, and no energy. I don't know, man. I don't know, like, you gotta make sure you're eating enough, you know? Like, I eat like 1.5 pounds a day, and I eat a lot of fat with it, so you can try doing some cooked starches with it if you want some carbs. Like, just kind of experiment around and see what works for you, man. You don't have to stick to just exactly what Augenus said. If it doesn't work for you, then just try something different, you know? But he knew what he was talking about for the most part. Tuan and Boy, how's dating on this diet? People said they don't really care what I eat, but I haven't started dating yet, so I can't confirm that. If someone really likes you for who you are, man, they're not gonna care what you eat, dude. Like, if someone cares that you eat raw meat, then they're not the person for you, for sure. You want someone that's open-minded, you know? You don't want to have to deal with that kind of person. But no, it's not. It's not. It hasn't been that hard, man. Really. There's a lot of women out there eating raw meat. You just got to put yourself out there. Enlightened Max says, bro sub YouTuber called Biomag Healer for knowledge of healing and using magnetic fields to correct the natural balance of energy. Sounds interesting, man. I'm always open-minded. You know? You gotta stay open-minded, dude. Just when you think you know everything, there's some new information that comes out. You can always improve. Roots says, thanks for all you do, man. Keep up the good vibes. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for showing up and hanging out. I had to eat carbs too and meat to get better energy. Mainly meat though, eggs and milk. Yeah, you can do a little bit of fruit and honey and like, you know, experiment around with that, man. So Heeb says, every day I eat 700 grams of ground beef with 200 grams of butter. And no, I don't really follow. 200 grams of butter? I don't think you're eating that much butter, right? Oh, maybe you are. $200 grams, okay. So that's like almost 8 ounces, 6 ounces. Right, okay. That's basically what I'm eating too, okay. So you said 700 grams, which means that I would be eating about a pound and a half, 24 ounces. 700 grams is like almost 2 pounds. So we're eating about the same amount of food. Yeah. Who knows, man? There's a lot of other things that cause like lack of focus and lack of energy than diet, dude. You know? Could be some sort of issue in your life, some sort of stress in your life. Could be something to do with your job. Could be something in the back of your mind that's bothering you. Could be something in your life that's been bothering you that you haven't addressed yet. It's not just about food and diet, man. You know? Food and diet can definitely improve a lot of that stuff, but you got to get to the root cause a lot of times. But the only way to find out, man, is to experiment around. Like start adding stuff in, subtracting stuff out, see what works best for you. P. Miller says, I've met girls who are more weirded out by drinking milk than the raw meat. Kind of odd. Yeah, that is strange. Yeah, I know some people are really freaked by raw milk, man. Sahib Mohammed says, I'm going through final exams. Maybe that's why. Exactly, dude. A lot of issues that we have are like spiritual in origin. So it's almost like psychosomatic, but it is real. But it's an illusion that it's like a physical problem because a lot of times it stems from something that is going on in your life. That's why a lot of people don't get well on diets because they have things they haven't addressed in their life, you know? Stress is bad, dude. And like stress is a major cause of disease. But I gotta go feed my dogs here, guys. So if you guys got any final questions, I'm about to roll out. So I like to keep these streams about an hour long so people actually watch them. When you start doing 3-hour streams and stuff, people won't even watch them. So I gotta keep them short. But I appreciate y'all showing up, man. And welcoming me back after ditching you guys for so long. So I'll be back. I'm going to set my alarm. I'm going to do another one next week. You got my word. Appreciate y'all. What state am I in? Any plan to host an in-person meetup for your fans? Possibly. I'm in Nebraska. That may be on the menu. We'll see. Alright, God bless, guys. Keep eating raw meats. Thanks for coming.